Isla Formosa, the beautiful island. This was the name given to Taiwan by the early Portuguese, an island little more than half the size of Tasmania, but with a population greater than that of the whole of Australia. Before 1949, Taiwan was an insignificant island province of China, but since independence 3 decades ago, it has progressed from a rural community to a heavily industrialized country and becoming more so each day. Modern underpasses at busy intersections are a feature of the city, transforming hazardous crossings into ones of safety. As a contrast, bamboo still prevails as the scaffolding of choice in building construction. Taipei, its capital, has grown into a modern western city of 2.5 million. 30 years ago, with a population of 4 million, Taiwan had not enough rice. Today, with 18 million, they not only supply their own needs, but also export. 30 years ago, sugar was the #1 export. Today, it is electronics, and Taiwan supplies 1/2 of the world's tennis rackets. A short visit to a Chinese opera is probably as much as a Westerner can enjoy without some prior understanding, for both the performers and the operas themselves are highly stylistic and ritualistic. Marble is abundant on the central eastern part of the island, and near Hualien, an east coast town, are situated several marble factories, busy turning out objects both for export and local consumption, for which it is freely used. With diamond saws, some of the larger blocks take as much as 2 days to cut through. From Hualien commences one of the most beautiful highways in Asia, the Cross Island East-West Highway. At the entrance to Taroka Gorge, Aboriginals of the Army tribe in their national costumes waylay the tourist, offering themselves for photography at a small fee. The gorge is encountered 25 kilometres after leaving Hualien, and then for 19 kilometres one of the marvels of this highway occurs. 19 kilometres cut through a gorge of solid marble, surely one of the world's engineering masterpieces. The Eternal Spring Shrine was erected to the memory of the workers who constructed this engineering marvel. The East-West Highway took 10,000 workers almost 4 years to complete at a cost of $11 million and 450 lives. The prime purpose of its construction was to open up the great central mountain range that spines Taiwan from north to south, to farming, cattle raising, logging, and tourism. The Taroka Gorge, a narrow marble rock defile, is so narrow in places that one has the feeling that outstretched arms could touch either side. The Tunnel of the Nine Turns is not what it sounds. The figure 9 to the Chinese means a great many, and this is certainly a tunnel of many, many turns. These tunnels have been blasted out of the solid rock wall, and in places windows have been gouged out to provide light and ventilation. A bridge made of solid marble is an uncommon sight, to say the least, but here even the surrounding cliffs were marble. Tien Siang, a small village at the western end of Taroka Gorge, nestles in a verdant valley 1,500 feet above sea level. Here, General Chiang Kai-shek built a pagoda high on a hill to the memory of his mother. After crossing the bridge of motherly devotion, one can make the climb. After leaving Tien Siang, the highway continues with breathtaking views of the surrounding mountains and narrow, hair-raising bends that many of the big buses have difficulty in negotiating. With a feeling that you're almost on top of the world, the road turns and twists to Lishan, about midpoint of the highway. Set in beautiful surroundings, it's a popular resort over 6,000 feet above sea level and the site of Lishan House, a modern, comfortable hotel which makes a perfect overnight for the highway traveller. At Techi, the reservoir, situated at an elevation of over 5,000 feet and the highest on the island, powers the island's largest hydroelectric station. Much of the country through which the highway now traverses is orchard country, mostly pears. The terrain is so steep that bamboo scaffolding is built around the trees for support. Areas where roadwork is still proceeding are of necessity one way, and this often entails long waits. Here, a convoy in each direction was allowed through every 2 hours, so it meant an early start from Lishan to make this point just before 10 o'clock, when the road was open for a few minutes for traffic. Kukuan is another popular resort town, where hot springs are the big attraction. Of course, on this island, most of the tourists are the locals, and Japanese would make up most of the foreigners, with Westerners conspicuous by their absence. The east-west highway finishes at Taichung, a city of 600,000 people and Taiwan's third largest. The Paozhou Temple boasts a Buddha 72 feet high, which greets you just before entering the city. Close by, a reclining Buddha looked a kindly old man, and it was quite apparent that children were in no way awed by his eminence, and climbed all over him as any young child will use a grandparent. According to popular legend, the dragon is credited with the creation of Taiwan. Ages ago, says the legend, when the young earth was still enshrouded in primordial mists and fantastic serpents swam the seas, the dragons played off the coast of China. They played so hard that they stirred the ocean bottom, and the most beautiful island in all the world rose from the deep. Exhausted from their play, the dragons then rested and slept here. From Taichung, a very pleasant 2.5-hour drive into the central mountains brings you to the popular resort of Sun Moon Lake, a must on the itinerary of any overseas traveller. Luxury hotels front the lake, and boating, fishing and walking can be enjoyed by day and entertainment by night. Overlooking the lake is the magnificent Sun Moon Lake Temple, built in the style of the Ming Dynasty of 500 years ago. It's a prefabricated building of only 12 years standing and is a Confucius temple. The condition of a temple indicates the wealth of the people in that district, and this one certainly is in first-class condition. A Confucius temple is more a memorial hall to some particular person or persons rather than a religious edifice. Here one can ponder on the idea of inner peace and acceptance of what cannot be altered, which was the philosophy of the great Confucius. As he once said, by nature men are pretty much alike. It is learning and practice that set them apart. Sun Moon Lake was originally two lakes, one shaped like the sun and the other like the moon, until the occupying Japanese built a dam and merged them into one. With a subtropical climate, it is a year-round resort and is a great favourite for honeymooners. The street vendors with their snacks, sweets and souvenirs are quick to pounce on the tourists, but they are neither forceful nor obtrusive. The local village is quite small, but it is interesting and adequate for the needs of the holidaymaker. For those with a belief in reincarnation, perhaps Sun Moon Lake, set in these beautiful mountains, could be their choice for a future honeymoon.